Hey guys, before we start, I just wanted to preface that originally I was going to upload each episode of Since November each week of November, but I just sort of thought the episodes were a bit too short and anticlimactic on their own, so I just compiled them all into this video. But I still read each section of Since November each week of November, so that's why the video structure is like this. Anyway, that was intro 1 out of 5. Here's intro 2 out of 5. Thank you. Hey guys, welcome back to Since November. Since it's November, or no. Since November is here, there we go. Since November is here, we're reading more Since November. I think how this is gonna work is I'm gonna read Since November every week of November, and then theoretically by the end of the week, or by the end of the month, we should be done with Since November. So we continue. I don't know how long Since November is, by the way. Like, it was made for a game jam, so I can't imagine it's, like, that ridiculously long. So it might not even take, like, 4 weeks? I don't know. Like, I'll probably split the episodes into, like, 4 episodes anyway. Like, 1 for each week of November, just for the bit, right? But I don't actually know how long this is. Okay, so I think last time Charlie and Edgar went outside because they were bored. They were bored, so they went outside. Which might be bad. I don't know. Maybe you're not supposed to go outside. Like that one indie game that got popular recently. Or didn't it get a 2.0 update? I don't know. But then Val and Nomi, I think, they stayed inside. So I don't know which order to, like, read this in. I guess we'll see what happens if we stay inside. My heart sinks, but I just stand there and watch them go. 2 shadows block the far door, and then they're gone. Hey, come on back. I turn to the bear. We've got pizza. He says it with a sad smile. Dumbledore said calmly. I sigh and sit back down. It takes a while to reset. Nomi eventually settles on an old DVD from the 90s. It isn't long before we're just talking over it. So anyway, there's pizza movies and non-pizza movies. Actually, I'm glad I stayed inside, because now we get to hear her finish this conversation or whatever. It's obvious when you think about it. Redline is a pizza movie. Midsummer? Midsummer is not. Babadook? Nope. The Green Room? Obviously not. But Turtles in Time, perfect pizza movie. I nudge Val. Hot Fuzz? Are these real movies? Some of them are, at least. What's his deal? Huh? Is Hot Fuzz a pizza movie? He looks completely lost. I don't think he was listening. He was just kind of spacing out. Of course, action comedies are pizza's bread and, sauce and cheese. It's better than pizza. So it's a tempo thing. Exactly, the movie has to move. Moving is more important than making sense. It's a crowd pleaser. It's unchallenging. I guess, if you want to be a dick about it. Nomi really launches into the deep lore of this concept that she probably only just now made up. While she's rambling on about it, I check in on Val. When I look over, the first thing I see is his reddened eyes, wide and searching. They wobble there, pleading and unseeing, as I hear his breath falling out of rhythm. I reach out to touch his shoulder, but he recoils. For just a moment there, I feel the bite of an unspoken accusation. I push through it. Hey, what's wrong? His face drops to his palms, hiding away. This isn't right. What? Leaving things like this. Come on, don't get weepy. Shut up. I hiss it. Ignore her. Like what? They're gone. We should have thought harder. It's not right. There's a tremor in his voice. I reach an arm around his thick frame and pull the bear closer. Shh, don't worry about it, man. Charlie's probably just gonna blow off some steam and come right back. You'll see. What if he doesn't? What then? What if that was it? And that stupid moment was the last we ever saw of? Stop. Could you live with that? After all these years, losing them just like that? We didn't even talk it through. Not here. Man, it's not good to think like that. You're getting yourself worked up. It's gonna be okay, I promise. I squeeze him, not knowing what else to do. It's not. He pulls away from me. It's not gonna be okay. Hey, we all agreed to the rules. He stands. Who even cares at this point? Val. What did we even accomplish with all this pretend shit if we couldn't even keep us together? How's it even good for Jack at this point for us to act like we're not all... Don't say it. Take a walk. No, we're all gonna die. They're gonna die, or are they gonna die? I'm sinking. We're all gonna fucking die very soon, and your Barbie fucking dream house and your vibes are accomplishing jack shit, and I... There's a ringing sound. It won't stop. Maybe it was always there. Is it cold? Is that feeling cold? God damn it. Do whatever you want, man. I'm staying here. I'm sick of trying to keep up with them. I'm done with always having to be the one that reacts. Guys. Why's my heart? We need them. Why should we put in all the work if they're not going to hold up their end of things? Like, who cares? What's the point? I'm done. It's blurry? Because it's all there is. It's all we have left. His voice cracks. What's the point? How can you... God damn it, why did I pick you? This can't be it. What the fuck? I'm on my feet, I think. I don't remember. I need air. The air isn't working? Guys, I can't. I reach out at what I think is Val, but there's a growl. My chest flattens. My vertebrae pop. The world turns. I'm sprawled harshly across the couch, and I just lay there, gasping for breath in the throes of panic. The Val thing is there, frozen, Paul grasping at nothing. I didn't. There's a moment of hesitation, but then he's gone. And I'm alone in it. The world feels out of focus, but there's this tingling. Why is my blood so fucking loud? Hey, breathe. There's a hand on my shoulder. I grab at it like I'm lost at sea. I can't. Shh, it'll pass. Feels like I'm flying down the highway with a stuck accelerator, and braking just makes it worse. It's long and harrowing. Waiting for the tank to run out of gas. But she waits with me. At some point, my head slides into her lap. I've been here before. I don't know how long it's been. The world is really ending. The world is really ending. And we don't know when. It's not gonna hurt. Where did he go? Out. That's it? She cocks an eyebrow. I've been here with you the whole time, man. I should find him, right? You don't have to do anything. But he's hurting. He didn't help you. Okay, there's another decision. Okay, so I guess there are like four character routes. I don't know which one to read first. It probably doesn't really matter. Okay, but we're going to use the save the best for last philosophy. I'm going to do the routes I'm looking forward to most last. But I think we're gonna do the philosophy. I think we're gonna try the philosophy. So we're gonna stay with Nomi and see what happens. We're gonna stay with Nomi. Man, I don't fucking know. Maybe he needs the time alone. He knows where we are, but if we move, then he won't anymore. I feel like that's not your actual reasoning. She groans, her silhouette lit only by the wavering glow of the television. Everyone's a mess. I'm not saying ignore it, but it's just so much to take on if you do it every time. You'll end up following Charlie into traffic or something. We've all had a week. Sometimes you just gotta stop and watch TV. Gotta stop and watch TV. You gotta play Slay the Spire. When's this set? Do we know when this is set? Oh, well... I don't know. I shrug. I don't know, aren't we just wasting time here? Wasting time? She scoffs. Like it's ours to keep. She mumbles it out, eyes still on the television. She likes TV. I love TV, I love TV, I love TV, I love TV. The actors on the screen are all crowding around a black obelisk of some kind. A familiar song plays. I don't understand the reference. I'm sure a reference is being made to some movie. I don't know what the reference is. Yet another movie that stops in its tracks to parody the Space Odyssey scene. You know, in the original Kubrick film, the apes basically discovered technology for the first time. They pick up bones, use them as weapons, and then that's it. We became people. The ape throws the bone into the air, and then Kubrick cuts directly to a nuclear-launched satellite thousands of years later. It's like he's saying that after the first step, inventing doomsday was inevitable. It's where we are. It's what we are. Huh, I never actually saw 2001. You should get to it. She's silent for a moment, working something over. Remember the zoo? What? Caught off guard by the topic. The zoo. I guess, only went there once back in school. Oh, right. She seems delighted all of a sudden. Haha, your parents totally had to come pick you up because you wouldn't stop crying. Dude, I was like 8. And anyways, animals are fucking weird. They look exactly like us. I don't want to think about it. It is weird. It is weird. Whenever I make settings, I purposely try as hard as possible to set up the world building so that there don't have to be, like, actual animals in the same universe as, like, the anthropomorphic animals, because I just think it's weird as hell. I don't want to think about it. What? That's the best part. Okay, I guess they freak people out a little bit, I get it. But, like, why not embrace it? I think I ended up going back every year since. It's like there's a connection there, I can feel it. Wait a second. You know, in the original Kubrick film, the apes basically discovered technology for the first time. Okay, so... Actually, I don't feel like thinking about that. Forget I said anything. We're going back. I don't feel like unpacking that. It's like there's a connection there, I can feel it. A connection. Yeah, like when I look at the bat cages, I can picture my family. But better? I think people watch animals and think, that's it? When they see what they do all day. They just lie there most of the time until they get hungry, or they play. But I think, that's it. The entire appeal of a wild animal is that they're not gonna ever stop to check their iPhone. I guess? A family of ferals doesn't know what a libertarian is. They don't get into arguments about gender. They don't have credit card debt. They can't understand something like climate change. They don't know that we're gonna die soon. Seer tense up. Right. They probably already got used to the color of the sky. I forgot it ever looked any other way. Damocles? The sword of Damocles only holds power if you can see it. I don't think that's what that story is about. She shrugs. Call it a slant rhyme. That's not... Sure. Since November is too high concept for me. The conversation lulls. I resign myself to the glow of the television until... Jack? She sounds small. Yeah? Is this something she's actually saying, or is this just, like, something being superimposed into the scene? What do you mean by that? Okay, that's supposed to be... I want you to forget me. What do you mean by that? I just think it would be better, you know? Are you still high? Stop staring at me. You know what? Never mind. Just watch the movie. Is the entirety of the Nomi route just watching the movie? I'd drop it. Maybe I shouldn't have. Screen takes over again for a while. Jesus, I don't remember movies being like this back then. She doesn't need me to elaborate. This was movies in the 90s all the time. Homophobia, body shaming, a lot of sexism. just comes across as cruel, like they're insecure, angry. If I was in a movie back then, it would be exclusively so that they could reveal that I have a dick and then proceed to throw up over that grand revelation for the next 5 minutes. It's hard to pretend that I care about talking about the movie. There's one thing that we're trying not to talk about, which of course means that's all that I'm really thinking about. I give in. When do you think it'll happen? Doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure it's the most important thing in history. It kind of matters. Nothing matters. And I guess if nothing matters now, then maybe it never mattered to begin with. How could it? Interesting. Interesting. Right? Like, if the world ends, it doesn't matter, because if the world isn't going to continue, if the legacy of everything that came before it isn't going to persist, then none of it even mattered in the first place. That's an interesting kind of nihilism, right? Sometimes people do, like... Sometimes people do like to adopt, like, selective nihilism sometimes, where they like to say that, like, one thing doesn't matter, right? Right, it doesn't matter that there's an end. It doesn't matter that we'll die, because we won't be there to experience it or be sad about it, right? It doesn't matter that we're going to die, because we won't be there to care about it afterwards. But if you're gonna, like, declare that, like, something like death doesn't matter, are you then declaring that, like, everything before it didn't matter also? I don't know. How could it? You don't mean that. You can't just work backwards from the end and declare society pointless. Sure I can. It's easy. She makes a show of giving herself a nice long stretch, her wings on full display. I hear a few things pop. Okay, I get why you're bringing 90s stuff. Binging 90s stuff, it's nostalgic. But why put us in pop synth purgatory? None of us were even alive in the 80s. You can be nostalgic for a time you never had. That doesn't make any sense. It makes sense. Who the fuck ever healed from things making sense? Dadaism is like 100 years old. World War I gave us unfathomable suffering and waste, so we put a urinal in an art museum. Sometimes you just gotta shit and roll in it. You make art sound like that kind of self-care that's actually just self-harm. What else is left to do? God, John Lennon hits different today, huh? Imagine all the people living for today. There's so many references. It's impressive. It's impressive how many different references can be packed into this one visual novel. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Heh. Maybe it's better this way. It's not. You sure? Of course it's not. I don't know, I feel like we've lived wrong. We could have been like the pharaohs, but we went and gave ourselves feudalism and slavery and capitalism. We were meant to live for so much more. And we called it all progress while we hurt ourselves, because hey, life expectancy went up. I mean, would you choose to live forever if the price was you spend it all in a cubicle? Yeah? Seriously? Yeah. I guess I could never agree when people said that life is beautiful because it's short. Life is just beautiful. The rest feels like cope. Does... Huh. Jack... It's hard to, like... It's hard to disagree with what Jack said, but, like... I feel like... I don't know Jack's life experience. So if I had 500 years of drudgery, well, maybe I'd find nirvana in the meantime or whatever. So, like, even if you're living in absolute existential, like, horror and torture, you'd be okay with it because maybe you'd just, like, learn to cope with it after a while. Huh. One must imagine Sisyphus happy. So many references to so much media across so many centuries. She stares ahead, considering it. Sisyphus. Dude was boiled down to one action. Now that's a feral. I popped my lips. I guess you're full of shit. What? You said it yourself. All your simple life talk assumes that life has inherent value, so it doesn't make sense that we're better off gone. Pfft, I feel like you cheated. But whatever. You show me someone who is ideologically consistent, and I'll show you someone who is dead. Ooh, tiebreaker. I win. I don't think we were tied, buddy. Nuh-uh, I'm taking it. You're gonna have to show receipts if you want to litigate. Oh, I'll come up with something. If that man falls over, the camera lingers on him in a way that indicates this was meant to be a funny joke. He tries to get back up. He's unsuccessful. Hey, you've seen this one before? How does it... Is this Love Like You? Written and programmed by Boring and Keith. Is that his author name? Is that stage name? Art by Fwog. Music by Red Means Recording. Additional art by Crimson Rabbit. What was the additional art? Editing feedback by Ka. Illusory Wall. Why am I reading out the credits? Jackson Buff. Zev Fox. Full Perp. Thank you for playing. Man, that since really did November, didn't it? It's kind of short, right? What was that, like 20 minutes? I suppose that makes sense. You know, considering the context. Guys, for the sake of the bit, right? For the sake of the bit, I have to stretch this out over the entirety of November, right? We're doing one route a week. I'm sorry, that's all we can afford. I mean, clearly we can afford a lot more, but like, you know, we gotta stretch it out over the entirety of November. Since November is here, we're reading since November, right? We can't have it end early. That being said, I don't know, the Nomi route was cool. I liked how they referenced a bunch of media. And they, I don't know, they were kind of musing about the point of being, I guess? I don't know. I don't know, the Nomi route was neat. Okay, we're doing a... We're doing a scale. The Nomi route, I rank it... Right, without any of the context of the other routes. I rank the Nomi route 1 80s movie I haven't seen out of 10, which is a pretty good score, right? Because 80s movies are pretty good. I mean, I assume they are. I haven't seen them. I haven't seen the 80s movies. But they're pretty good, I assume. Yeah, I don't know. Nomi. Nomi, I don't know. Hey guys, we're back to since November. Okay, last time we did the Nomi route, so now we're doing the Val route. Initially I was going to do the Nomi route on its own, like I was going to do all the routes separate, but the Nomi route was kind of like, I don't know, it was kind of short. Like all of them are kind of short, I don't know, so I'm just bundling these two together. We're going to go find Val. Alright, 'Cause 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 'C I'm not sure that's fair. Secure your own oxygen mask before assisting others, right? I stand, wobbling a bit, brushing myself off. I flash her a quick smile. I'm sure I'll be right back. There's no way he's being right back. I set off, but as I bore through the myriad tapestries surrounding our camp, I hear it. It's so quiet that I almost think I imagined it. Of course he would. Once I'm back out in the mall proper, I realize I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay, should I give... Okay, the context. The context is that everybody left, and Val went off looking for them, I guess. So that's the context. Once I'm back out into the mall proper, I realize I have no idea what I'm doing. How do you track someone? When people do it in movies, you just kind of accept it. Like that's a normal verb to have. I just wonder. Say after me. It's no better to be safe than sorry. It's around the time I get to the second floor that I realize just how drained I feel. It's been a rough few hours, weeks. When was the last time that I felt normal? How long since the sky? Wait, is that a fire? I blink. There's a warm glow flickering deep behind one of the displays. A furniture store, the same one we stole the couch from. I approach the front door. I reflexively reach for the handle, only to find it hanging loose. Seeing the cratered frame reminds me of when Charlie kicked through it. The door has no resistance left to offer when I push it open. The space within is made uncanny in the dark, all of these displays of mock domesticity. Chairs and tables are arranged in vaguely logical configurations, but where you'd expect to see more house, the pattern simply repeats in iterating variations. A reality that feels AI generated. Worse, they're all meant to draw me in, entice, like a suspiciously placed chest in a video game that you're fairly sure has rows of teeth. I push past the menace of this vast, dark space in pursuit of that glow. I think I can see someone. Bumping into the couches in the darkness, I make my way over. Lavender scent is the thing that I notice first. The scene I find is rather dramatic. It's Val. No, Mother Earth, why must you do this? The bear is sitting on an uncovered mattress in a semi-enclosed display room. He's clutching a globe, lit only by a flat-screen television that's set to display a fake fireplace. And he's crying. Val? He notices me, but then shies away, mashing his face into the sphere. His breath is all wet gasps. I suddenly feel like I'm intruding here. I can leave you alone. No! The word explodes out of him. No, please. He's reached a point where he's too pathetic for embarrassment. Come here. Contrary to my words, I'm the one who walks over to him. I lean over and pull him into an awkward hug from where he sits with his ball, pressing his face against my shoulder. We just stay there for a while. We write it out together. He's the one that finally pulls away. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. It's fine. He shoved me into a couch. I think I'll live. His mouth opens, but he stops himself. I can tell from the hurt in his eyes what he chose not to point out. I just really wanted to believe that we'd keep the group together. I shrug. Charlie's an asshole. It is what it is. It just feels so final, like that was it. Why can't anyone else feel that? I mean, how do you even find anyone anymore? No one has ever come back. It's like they're already gone. Maybe they are. I don't really know what's happening anymore. I don't understand why anyone would leave. If we don't have each other, what else is there to live for? It's like I'm watching my world get smaller and smaller, and nothing I can do to stop it. I'm powerless. I don't know what to say. I want to offer platitudes to reassure him, but he's right. The world is ending. Everything is futile. Futile? Futile? Guys, are you team feudal or team futile? If you say futile, you sound like an anime villain. So I don't know. Everything is feudal, and we're running out of time. But feudal sounds like feudal, like a feudal lord. Futile. There are a lot of people that we'll never see again, and more we'll never get to do. Val is staring down at the globe with a profound sense of loss. I never found love. Always thought there'd be more time, you know? He told us that there's someone for everyone, but... He sighs, running his fingers along the globe. Where? Where's my wolf? I sit down beside him. The cheap mattress groans underneath our weight. I spot the candle from earlier, nursing a flame. It's tough. A real meat market, putting yourself out there over and over again. I kind of burned out myself. I dream about him. Really? Yeah, don't laugh. He's an Arctic wolf with big, broad shoulders, but a soft belly. He's super into fitness, so he takes me on these really long nature hikes. And we just talk, the whole while. He loves to cook. He doesn't see my anxiety as a burden, he just takes the lead, and we dance. He's good for me, not because he shames me into changing, but because that's just how he is. He makes me feel like I'm enough. God, an adult. Right? It's fucked up how you get older and you don't feel any different. You just feel old and useless. But then there's people who seem to slot right into the world. Like they know who they are. And they were made right. The globe drops to the floor, which bounces once. It collides with the television, bringing it crashing down. Val doesn't even flinch, he just groans, letting himself fall back onto the bed. I bet he's real. I bet he's real and he's falling asleep right now in the arms of his pup thruple, who he just railed mercilessly for hours while showering them in compliments. Damn, the legend grows. Believing in him is the easy part. The hard part is telling myself that he'd bother with me. He runs his fingers through his hair, massaging his scalp. I'm going to pretend not to be confused. They're not so bad. I don't know if anyone's actually as put together as they look. Oh yeah? What did you hope for in a boyfriend? I don't know. Large? Warm? That's it? Sure, I guess. It's all negotiable, really. Like, I've been fucked, I've been on dates, I've been to parties, but ultimately when everyone turns in for the night, when they retreat, I'm alone. You're not alone. I'm not, but I am. It's weird being in a room full of people that you like, but still being lonely. Sometimes it feels like everyone is the most important in someone else's life. And when it comes down to it, I'm not. They all leave me for each other, and it hurts. Aw. And now, I guess I will never be that person. I never will be that person. Like I was a background character, neighbor in some sitcom, my entire life. So, yeah. I guess on some instinctive level, I just want to feel warm. And as far as everything else goes, surprise me. I lay down and let the bed support me, stretching out. It's not like I don't have standards or whatever. It's just, why specify? I don't care what his job is or what color fur. I just want him to love me. And I want to believe him. You're not wrong. We lay there in silence, lost in the lives that we never had. Till I feel a shift beneath me. Val rolls over to look me in the eye. You know... He hesitates, like he's afraid of something. We're so close I can feel his breath on my nose. We could... If you want to, we could pretend together. What are you saying? There's a desperation in his eyes. I mean, we could be warm together tonight. I want you to fuck me. I stare back at him, at his big, goofy snout, and where the tears had marked the fur around his eyes. Why the fuck not? I kiss him, and he kisses me. I grab the back of his head, pulling him deeper. He rolls onto me, and I feel all his weight pushing me down into the cratering mattress. I'm enveloped in him, his hunger. As our tongues twist, we grind and grow against each other. May I? He unzips me, pulling my length free from its straining prison. Guys, I always get jump scared. I never know when these visual novels are actually going to have like sex in them, and then the sex happens, and then I'm surprised. But like they always have sex in them, but sometimes they don't. You know, Like, I'm always expecting there to be sex at some point, and then the sex actually happens. I'm like, oh, this is like sex. He untips me, pulling my length free from its straining prison. I feel a cold snout, and he takes a long, deep drag as if he'd been starved of air. You're the most important person in the world, Jack. I shudder as he takes me in, gripping the sheets. It's too much, I can't help myself. After a moment, I grab his head and feed it to him. Naked, every part of this huge bear reacts as I run him through. My loins meet him, he ripples, bounces, and groans. I go harder, he gets louder. He calls me his wolf. I snarl. What is this? You know what, never mind. The bed creaks. We wake the dead. I gasp, I stink, he begs. Don't stop, keep going, keep... I won't make the love like you joke. Huh. And then it's over. Interesting. That one was also quite short. Like they're all short, and that's kind of the point, right? The point is that they're all short because this was made for a game jam. Huh. Yeah. I'm not gonna do the that since sure was November joke again. I'm not gonna do the that since sure was November joke again. Interesting. Huh. Thank you for playing. Is it going to boot me out to the title screen? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Jack. Very cool. Okay, I'll think of actual things to say this time, right? With the Nomi route, I was like, that sure was a Nomi route. Okay, I will say, broadly speaking, more broadly speaking, it's interesting how, like, okay, am I actually gonna have anything to say? Okay, it's interesting because at a certain point in the Nomi route, we're going back to the Nomi route. I'm talking about the Nomi route. At a certain point in the Nomi route, there's a point where I'm like, is this entire thing just them sitting on the couch? But in retrospect, I think that's like kind of the point. I think that's kind of the point of the like Nomi route, is that the whole thing is just them sitting on the couch. It's like, what do you do at the end of the world? I guess just watch TV, right? I guess nothing in particular. But that's interesting, because it sort of aligns Nomi route with being, like, the first route you read in the novel. Because the Nomi route is essentially the route you get by doing nothing, right? And then that's what they do for the rest of the route. They do not that much, right? They're just gonna sit and talk. So it does seem in that way that the Nomi route is sort of, like, suggested as being, like, the first route in the novel. It's the route you get by just sort of, like, you know, just sitting and waiting, right? That's my commentary on the Nomi route. I have nothing else to say. I have nothing else to say about the Nomi route. That's the extent of my commentary. As for the Val route, the story with Val we saw there, I don't know, that's sweet. That's sweet. I guess. That's sweet, I guess. Right? Val was like, man, I never found love. And then they were like, what if we just loved each other real quick? What if we just loved each other real quick? They pretended, right? They pretended. I feel like in some ways... I feel like in some ways, to me, the Val route was easier to understand than the Nomi route. Like, I feel like more, like, happened in the Val route than the Nomi route. But I feel like, literarily, right, the Nomi route had more going on, if that makes sense. Like, in terms of, like, themes and rhetoric, I feel like the Nomi route had more going on, but I feel like the Val route had more going on, literally. It does make me curious to see what the other routes are going to be like. Because ultimately, it seems like there's this pattern of they talk for a bit, one thing happens, and then it's over, right? So in Nomi route, they watch TV and talk for a bit, then it's over. The Val route, they talk for a bit, then lay down on the mattress and fluff each other, and then it's over. So it makes me wonder what's going to happen in the Edgar and Charlie ones. I don't know, it's interesting. I guess we'll see what happens next time. Hey guys, back to more November since November. Okay, so my original plan whenever I was like recording these was I was gonna upload one character route each week of November. But I just didn't feel like posting like the videos because they were like shorter. So okay, we already did all the stay inside routes, right? We did the first route, which was Nomi's route, where you just sit there and do nothing. You watch TV. I love TV. I love TV. Then we did the Val route. We did the Valheim route. That's my headcanon. That's my headcanon of what his full name is, Valheim. We did the Valheim route, where we laid on a mattress and had intimate actions with each other. We laid on a mattress and had intimate actions with each other. So now we're gonna do the next one. Okay, but it's interesting. Okay, because like every route so far, each of the two routes so far, they sort of like followed this pattern of like you talk for a little while, and then you do a thing. Then the world ends, right? Nomi route, you talk for a while whilst watching TV, world ends, right? Val route, you talk for a while, fluff each other, the world ends. So now, let's see what happens, right? We're leaving the mall, which apparently is dangerous. Don't worry about me, I'll be right back. Probably. Jack, not you too. I'm already jogging through the shadows of the empty store to catch up with the others, but he sounds afraid. I start second-guessing myself as I come into the light. And like, I don't know, and it really changes the perspective of every route, knowing that the world is, like, about to end. Like, as you start the novel, you know it's the end of the world. But you don't know to what extent. You don't know the world's literally about to end any moment now. So that really, like, recontextualizes a lot of the routes, like, as you're reading them. You know, like, as you're doing Nomi's route, just, like, sitting inside watching TV, you know, like, Val is, like, mourning to himself about never having found his special one or whatever the hell, right? I don't know. I start to second-guess myself as I come out into the light. Say after me. It's no better to be safe than sorry. Huh. I can see two figures pulling open the sliding glass doors to the outside world. Hey, wait. I run after them. Is this take on me? I run after them, unsure if they heard me. Our phones don't work, so I need to not lose track of them. I'm already getting winded from all this sudden activity. When I reach the front door, I see that Charlie left us the keys on the floor. I step over them. He's really not coming back, huh? Looks spooky out there. Huh. The pair is already at the edge of the parking lot as I'm coming outside. Hey! I call out to them, but my eyes are drawn upward. Oh, fook. Right. The sky is wrong. I can already feel the panic rising in me. Away from my retail nest of synth pop and fluorescence, the world has twisted into something unrecognizable. Distorted. Red. No. It hasn't been the same since early November. Huh. I Can't breathe. Fuck. He's spiraling again. We're all gonna die. It's the end of the fucking world and we're all gonna die and there won't be anyone left to care. My heart's beating so goddamn fast. What day is it? Does anyone know what day it is? How much time is left? Fuck, 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 fuck. Guys, it'd be really funny if Charlie was British. Right? Just as a thought. It'd be really funny if Charlie was British. I know in part 1, I know in the prologue, Charlie was not British. But wouldn't it be funny if he was British? Doesn't he give off British energy? Can I even do a British accent? I've got this. It's not real, it's not real, it's not. A shadow passes over my unfocused eyes and I feel something soft and warm on my lips. My entire body is so tense that it hurts, but the shock of what's now happening to me confuses things. A large hand cups the back of my head while another pulls at my lower back. I grow loose in his arms as I surrender to the kiss. The moment my tongue starts to move, he practically drops me. Ha ha ha, holy shit. Really all that much of a... Can I say that? I don't know if I can say that. You really are that much of a... F-slur. I stare back at him. Blinking dumbly as I regain my balance. Shut up, that was fucked up. That was a really bad gamble. You don't grab people who are having panic attacks. It can make them so much worse. Charlie turns his back on us, making his way into the parking lot. Blah, blah, blah. I said I've got this. He's probably been waiting to have a go at me for years. Edgar follows him, and reluctantly, so do I. Your ego isn't a shortcut around consent, dude. The parking lot feels absolutely massive, almost as if it has grown while I've been inside. There's still a few cars here, though not an insignificant number of them look like they were damaged on the collision, or flipped. There's a wrongness to everything that makes me not want to look at anything for too long. It really does feel like this is like part 2 of the novel, you know? It really does feel like this is like Since November part 2. Like the Nomi and Val stuff, like that was like the light side, right? That was the light side of the moon. Like this is the dark side of the moon. Like there's altered images where everything is actually made of dogs, or trick art in the dentist's lobby. If I stare at it, it'll unravel in response. Man, I haven't been out here since, I come out here all the time. What? Why? Hands still in their hoodie, they shrug. This is happening. I could ask you the opposite. I don't get how you can all pretend that it isn't. I still feel like I need to catch my breath. What day is it? No idea. Phones haven't fucking worked in ages. He didn't say fucking. No radio signals. Nothing. Night never comes. I've never spotted the sun, nor have I distinctly been able to claim its absence. Just this. They gesture at the sky. Streaks and whirls. Whatever it means. I learned as much as I could about it before the net went down, and I've tried to figure out more ever since. Nothing actionable. It's been a huge waste of time, but what else could I do? Would I do? Shit, do you think they have the snowballs? What? I look over to see him eyeing a convenience store at the corner of the lot. It appears to have been thoroughly ransacked. You just ate. Yeah, but I haven't had anything but the same old garbage for... at least a week or something. The door's hanging open, and he just walks right in. Guess we're doing this. Oh wow, this is a mess. The shelves look empty, at least the ones that are still upright do. There are a lot of wrappers on the floor, along with his cardboard cartons that would normally hold product. Broken glass decorates the environs of the refrigerators, which no longer appear to be operational. Well, I'm going to check in the back. Who knows? He storms off on a mission, leaving me alone with Edgar. How bad have things gotten out here? As bad as you'd think. They don't seem to be fazed by any of this. You know, we could always go back. Val would be happy to see you. I'm not going back, I'm sorry, but sitting in there makes me feel like I'm pulling out all my feathers, one by one. I'm done pretending. I don't know what good it does to...
Who is this? Who's this? I didn't think there would be other characters. I thought it would...
I hear a crunch from someone stepping on something, and my attention snaps to the front door. I'm surprised to find a whole new person standing there. The wolf looks like he's in his mid-30s. Though maybe dirt has aged him. At least, I think his fur was originally white. He looks pretty fit. Though he's got a bit of a belly. Huh. Oh, hello, sir. He doesn't say anything. He just swallows, staring back at me. I don't like how nervous he seems. Hell yeah, jackpot. Charlie returns with the whole box loaded with some brand of biscuits, only stopping when he senses that something is up. Our visitor suddenly pulls a knife out of his waistband. Hold it right there. I'm sorry, bud. I really need that food. I'm taking it. Just walk away and no one gets hurt. Charlie sneers at him. Oh, you want this? Tilts the package a bit, as if to appraise it, before launching it directly at the wolf. The canine, caught by surprise, fumbles to catch the projectile, which is exactly what Charlie is counting on. His fist collides with the side of the man's face with the force of his entire body behind it. The wolf immediately goes limp, a heavy marionette tossed across the linoleum. Linoleum? He doesn't move again. Dude, what the hell? Is he... Alright, nope, that's enough of that. I'm out. Bye. Where are you going? Stepping over the wolf's body, and now the scattered biscuits. Anywhere but here. What? It was in my rights. Dude had it coming. Don't follow me. Like I give a shit. Edgar is probably right, and Charlie's getting more and more erratic. I should leave too, right? But part of me still feels compelled to stick around. Did I really want to lose track of him out here? What is he going to do? Well, I suppose. Is Charlie just using... Is Charlie just using this, like, end of the world post-apocalypse scenario just as an excuse to be, like, egregiously violent as shit? Charlie's kind of silly. We're going with Edgar, right? We're going with Edgar. Well, fuck you too. I don't look back, instead my eyes are fixed on the wolf as I pass him. Is he breathing? I don't have time to check. Edgar is already putting distance between us. When I finally catch up with them, they seem to be scanning the buildings as they walk. I don't know how they can bear to look at them all. What are you looking for? Doesn't matter, really. What if someone else shows up? It's fine, I don't think random people are evil or anything. But that guy was desperate and was shitting himself. I think he was bluffing. Man. Okay, what are you trying to do then? Clear my head, I guess. Nothing's worked so far. So, like, LSD or heroin or something? Not above it at this point. I end up bumping into them when they come to a sudden stop. They're looking at some big government-looking building. The library. Sure. And just like that, they've changed course. I followed them inside until I can smell the musty old books. Huge shelves, taller than I can even reach, stretch far into the distance. There's more dead people here than you'll find in any cemetery. They start wandering down an aisle, running their fingers along the spines of the books. Nietzsche, Kant, Sun Tzu, Socrates, Hegel, Aristotle, Hume, fucking, I don't know, Confucius. I keep telling myself I was gonna read more. I don't know if I even really wanted to. Like, that I just tell myself that I do it because it sounded like something a good person would do. Because we're supposed to value being rounded and worldly. But would I have lived a better life? Does that even fucking matter now? Their eyes snap to mine, as if they're just now remembering where they are. Sorry, venting. I shrug, not really knowing what to say. They sigh. Why not? So, we tell ourselves stories, right? Sure. Star Wars, Gilgamesh, Romeo and Juliet. Heh, 50 Shades of Grey, I guess. A bunch of shit that never happened. But we make it all up obsessively. Why? He's speaking like a JRPG villain. I feel like we're about to initiate like a boss fight. We just do? The distraction, I guess. Don't you always just kind of want to do something? Making is just another doing. Right, okay. But why is it all the way it is specifically? Tragedies, 3-act structures. How some of it is good and the rest of it is bad. Like we innately understand that there's a right way to do it. Like it just feels right? Huh, I don't know. I guess I go and watch a movie, and when I come out of the theater, I like it if it felt true, if that makes any sense. It does, it makes perfect sense, and that's what's pissing me off. If someone watched me for a whole week, you know what they'd say? I bet they'd call me poorly written. Edgar's the best character. Am I weakly characterized? Did I have a fucking arc? Like, why do people who never even existed get to be real and I'm standing here at the end feeling like I'm the fraud? You're real. Who cares? So it goes. Haha, there's one goddamn book I read. Fuck you too. Vonnegut. Vonnegut. They kick a book down the aisle. Probably not a Vonnegut. Vonnegut. Von Gogh. I mean, I care. The shoulders slump. Yes, sorry, I don't mean... But also, who cares, you know? Spread their arms wide. As if to hold all of the nothing. Fuck the dinosaurs, right? I don't get it. Hundreds of millions of years, I think? Unfucking fathomable, fake number stuff. A time scale so vast that's geologic. And then, boom, big rock. Why? Fuck 'em, the rock doesn't care. It doesn't mean anything. There's no heroes, no villains, no story. It just ends. Like a candle. How did we get here? History? No, the, dinosaurs. Shit, yeah. Well, I think we're all, afraid of the dinosaurs, right? I guess they were huge, yeah? Afraid of being the dinosaurs. Theirs was a long-ass book. But in the middle of everything, you turn the page and it's just blank. The rest of it's blank. That's terrifying. It's awful. It might be the single worst thing. How do you even grapple with that? Well, we write our nursery rhymes. And our morality tales. We set things up so we can pay them off. We have life-changing character growth in 90 minutes or less. In the telling and the hearing of a story, we establish a level of trust in each other. The storyteller promises to be saying all this bullshit for a reason. There's structure, an ending, a point. Because we need it, right? Because every day we turn the page, the next one might be blank. And then, well, that was it. That was us. You wanted to lose weight, finish college, learn to paint, take the knot. Fuck you. That was it. Hey, maybe we should talk about something else. No, sorry, but I can't. I tried, man. I tried and it made me worse. I think you're not gonna like it, but I think I need you. You want a hug? A pound of coke and a fist hilted to the elbow wouldn't faze me at this point, dude. Can't you feel it, hear it all the time? How can you even think like this? What? There's no one else here. He's he's a wee bit neurotic. They ignore me. They're a wee bit neurotic. They're a wee bit neurotic. They ignore me, instead turning the pace through the aisles of the library, plucking random books from the shelves. I lied about the dinosaurs. The books fall to the floor one by one. Victims chosen at random. Edgar sucks. I know I just said he's the best character. I know I just said they're the best character, but Edgar sucks. It's easier to say that they died because that in of itself is a cleaner narrative, a primordial metaphor. But I am a dinosaur, right here, walking cognitive dissonance. We were struck with the greatest tragedy in history of the Earth, and then given sentience so we'd be burdened with the understanding of it all. Look what you did. You gave it anxiety. Jesus died for our sins, and then, you guessed it, Big Rock, and he was reborn and ascended. I stepped timidly along the din of clattering texts. What the fuck are you talking about? It's funny, looking back on it. All of that mythology, we can't accept the world as it is, so we sell stories about it, right? And then we let those stories become the truth. Truer than we are, and we call them God. Is this a library or a church? I reflexively look over my shoulder, worried who might overhear. I guess I'm not over the idea of this place being public. Look at all of this, it just keeps going and going and going. I don't think I could have read it all if I spent my entire life here. We stood up on two legs, teamed the land, called it a society, and then pretty much spent the next few thousand years arguing about it. 1,000, what a cute little number. Look what we did with it. Have you processed the idea of the Eiffel Tower melting? Does all of that iron retain some sort of intrinsic value? How many followers did you have on Twitter? Is that a real question? Can you put a bow on the war in the Middle East? What good did science do? Granted us with the foresight of our own death without any way of avoiding it? Edgar pauses a moment, struck by an impulse. Delighted, they turn to the shelf beside them and heave their body against it. When it doesn't budge, they brace a foot on the opposite shelf for leverage. Hey. The crime of their actions jolts through me until I remember. I sigh. Guess it doesn't matter. I push against the bookshelves as well. Why doesn't it matter? A loud creak, a worsening bookfall. It was always going to be gone one day. Is it hypocritical to stop caring just now? Yes! All at once, the structure gives way. I stumble, grimacing at the sensation. The way this wall-like thing leaves my touch and falls away, twisting my horizon, unsteadies my ups and downs. I cover my ears, unused to such destruction. It slams into the next aisle, toppling another shelf before mercifully coming to a stop. Edgar howls. Edgar, shut the fuck up. Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. They don't miss a beat. Why hasn't Putin launched his nukes? Doesn't he seem like the get the last word kind of guy? Spiteful. What are you waiting for? Fucking do it, you coward. Come on. I'm waiting. Are you okay? Is that a real question? I guess I don't really know what else to say. They lock eyes with me. You're not doing well. I feel naked. I have to look away. I know. Well, that's a start. I sigh. I don't know what to feel anymore. Was doing this better than video games? All those philosophers you mentioned, do you think they ever found actual answers? Something that could have made us ready for this? Too late to find out, I guess. I had time too, these past few weeks. Instead, I drank soda on a couch. Is Camp better than soda, though? I don't fucking know. They lean into me and I embrace them. We just stand there for a while, rocked by each other's breathing, while they seem to calm down from their mania. I don't have anywhere else to be. The longer the silence stretches on, the braver it feels to finally break it. You said you needed me. Edgar looks up at me, eyes wavering, uncertain. Steeling themselves, they take hold of both my wrists, slowly bringing my hands to their neck.
What were they on when they wrote this?
I want you to forgive me. I blink. What? Just squeeze. This isn't funny. It I look pleadingly into their eyes. They don't flinch. I mean it. Please. We're gonna die, all of us. Everything soon. But no one knows when, and that's eating away at me. Every minute of every day. I keep turning the page, bracing for nothing, but there's more words. Why? I'm just killing time, wondering if it'll happen now. How about now? I don't feel like me anymore. It's all that I think about, like I'm stuck in the jaws of some huge predator and waiting for it to bite down. I can't live like this. Please, just give me this. I recoil, but they hold on tight. This is insane. I can't just... This isn't depression. It's the end of the fucking world. I love you so much. I'm sorry. But I need to know my ending. I need to know that I'm dying. I'm begging you. Tears wet my paws. I want to look you in the eyes and know that you're killing me. I want it to hurt. Let me feel it. They said that we won't even feel it when it happens. It's so fucked up. I can't. No one is gonna save us, please. I know you can do it. Just do it. I'm trembling. What are you waiting for? Just do it. The beakings open as they suddenly choke. I feel bent feathers between my paws and the pulse of blood underneath. Hard muscle and cartilage resist me, and I squeeze. After a moment of shock, Edgar smiles weakly at me. It's a strained, somber thing. Their body slackens, and we're brought to the floor. I straddle them, and I don't let go. They squeeze my wrists, but they never pull them away. Their image blurs as I sob over them, and I hate them for what they're doing to me. And I love them. After minutes of agony, I feel their grip weaken. They feel heavier and still. I scream, hoarse, alone. This is a body now. This was once Edgar. Overcome by the weight of it all, I lean down to kiss them on the forehead. Goodbye. Huh. Written and programmed by... Huh. Well, that sure was rude. I want to be like, that was my favorite route so far, but like, I want to say that was my favorite route so far, but I don't really know if the route was like better. I don't know if that route was really better than the last routes, or if I just liked it more because more things happened, right? I don't really care for the ending. I don't really care for the ending of that route where you kill Edgar because he says kill me. Like, I don't know. It's quite interesting. Since November is quite interesting. It's hard to like... it's hard to parse sometimes. It's hard to parse sometimes. Okay, so what was Edgar talking about? Okay, so like Nomi's route, you were watching TV and like questioning the human condition. Nomi's route, you were watching TV and questioning the human condition. And I guess Nomi's route, it's all about like just sort of like sitting down and chilling out, right? Like in Nomi's mind, she envies the like non-sentient societalist animals because they don't have to deal with like the stress of like being a like a sentient person, you know? They just kind of like fuck off and do whatever. I guess it's sort of what Nomi's route is about. Then Val's route is about his qualms and his regrets at not being able to find his special one, right? His don't hug me, I'm scared special one. And he reconciles with that, right? By you two fluffing each other. Edgar's route is about, I don't know, it's sort of like nihilistic. That actually makes me want to go back and see some parts of... Nomi's route. Because there was lines somewhere in there where, like, Jack and Nomi, they were discussing, like, if, like, the end of everything invalidates everything that came before it. And it seems like we sort of, like, reiterate on some of that in Edgar's route. But it starts off with Edgar discussing, like, literature and shit. He starts off discussing literature. It starts off with him discussing literature, and he sort of, like, rejects that literature. He's like, why is literature more real than I am? Well, because you're not a story, Edgar. You're a guy. The stories are stories. You are a person. It's not your job to be a story. It's your job to be a person. Huh. Ironically enough, right? Ironically enough, he is a story. He is a character with an arc. He is a character with an arc. But he gets fed up with not knowing when the ending is? Is that Edgar's deal? Like, I don't know, he goes on that tirade. He babbles about, like, philosophers and literature and the dinosaurs and whatnot. But I don't know. I guess his main concern was that he didn't like not knowing how his arc was going to conclude. I guess he was sort of right in a sense, because in all the other routes just sort of end with, like, the world suddenly ending while you're in the middle of something, you know? You're conversing with Nomi, the world ends, right? Your fucking vow, the world suddenly ends. But Edgar is like, no, I'm going to know what the end is, right? The end isn't just going to suddenly happen out of nowhere, right? I'm not going to be a dinosaur who randomly gets struck by a meteor. Well, he is a dinosaur, by his own words, but... Right, I'm not going to be some dinosaur that randomly gets struck by a meteor. I am going to know how it ends definitively, and I'm going to be in control of that. And you're going to help me. So that's interesting, I suppose. What would have been funnier... what would have been funnier is if the world ended... as... as you were choking out, Edgar. And then Jack's there, I guess. What is Jack's role in all this? You know, does Jack have an arc? What's Jack's deal? Right? We get all this discussion and philosophical musings from, like, each of the, like, different friend characters. But what's Jack's deal? What's Jack's role in all this? I don't know, he's just a guy. Right? He's the metaphorical straight man, I suppose. Obviously not, though. Obviously not. He clearly plays into it. Right? He clearly felt comfortable playing into Edgar's wishes there. Huh. I don't know, it's interesting. Again, I feel like I won't really be able to parse since November's deal. I won't really be able to parse since November's deal until I finish it, probably. I won't really be able to parse since November's deal until I finish it. But I guess it's essentially just a story of how these different folks cope with the end of the world. Like, as a blanket statement. That's essentially what it's about. The issue I'm having trouble with is, like, unraveling the, like, the deeper, like, the more deeply embedded narrative thread, right? I wanna pull out what that more deeply embedded narrative thread is. Which I haven't really been able to yet. Interesting. Yeah, the Edgar route is probably my favorite. I don't really like the ending. I get the ending is like the whole point, right? It's like being like, I didn't really like... It's like I know the ending is the whole point. I know the ending is the whole point of Edgar's route, but I like Edgar's route just because Edgar's funny. It's funny watching him talk. Right, the part where you strangle him to death, not as poggers, but Edgar's funny. I like watching him. They the Edgar. I always do this. I always do this. I'm sorry, guys. I keep misgendering non-binary characters. I keep misgendering non-binary characters. My brain goes, Edgar? Who's that guy? Yeah, but I don't know. It's interesting. Right? The part where you kill the Edgar. The part where you kill Edgar. Not really my favorite part. I didn't really like that part. It was kind of like, whatever. It's kind of like, whatever. I do wonder, though, because, like... I wonder if... Okay, because there's a lot to say about Since November. Because Since November is really short, but it's designed to be short. Not only because it was made for a game jam, you know, like a project literally made under a very short amount of time, right? The writing especially, because you have to do all the writing first, then you have to get the assets to be produced about the writing that you wrote. But, like, the story itself literally had to be, like, written in a short amount of time, and that's why the character roots feel kind of, like, shorter, because it is short, right? That's the point. But also, it's, like, the point of the narrative itself, right? It's like, how do you spend this last little bit of time before the world ends, right? It actually makes sense. It actually makes less sense whenever the roots tend to be longer. Because it's supposed to be short. That's the whole point, right? Time's running out before the end of reality itself, right? So it being short actually, like, plays into its narrative, which is interesting. I wonder how much of that was, like, blatantly intentional. What was I going to say? I was going to say something else. It's short. I did the it's short part. What else was there? I was going to say something else. I think I forgot. I think I'm out of commentary for this part of Since November. For this section, the Edgar section. I'm thinking. I'm thinking before I give up. Huh. That Ed do be gar, though. That Ed do be gar. Edgar. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I was talking about how it's short. Okay, but, like, a consequence of the novel being short is that I'm not really, like, the emotional moments that happen, like, between the characters, like, you know, I'm not really, like, as sold on them as I would be in, like, a longer story where we had more time to, like, establish the characters and their dynamics and, like, actually, like, form more of a, like, long-term connection with the character. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, it's weird. It's weird because I want to get invested. Like, I am invested. I do get invested. But not as invested as I maybe otherwise would be. So that's why I went on that tangent. Like, if there was a longer version of Since November, do I think I would become more invested in the characters? And the endings would, like, resonate more? You know? Because, like, you know, you kill Edgar there. But, like, I know the world's gonna end anyway. You know what I mean? So it's fucked up. It's fucked up that you strangle Edgar to death. Or it's not fucked up because that's explicitly what he wanted you to do. Like, you know, it's shocking, right? It's shocking. But, like, the world's ending anyway. It doesn't really matter. But maybe that's the point, right? Maybe that just means the narrative works, right? Maybe the fact that I'm saying something like that
means the narrative works. It's like, yeah, we strangled Edgar to death. Who cares? Right, the world's ending anyway. Maybe that's the point. But that's probably not the point. Like, I don't know. Like, it's weird. There's this weird conflict there, right? Where because I know the world is going to end and how little time there is left before the end of the world, it makes me sort of like detached. It makes me sort of like disconnected, depersonalized from the characters in the narrative. So certain moments that are supposed to like feel more emotional and feel more weighty don't feel as emotional and as weighty as a result, you know? But maybe that's like, maybe that's the, you know, maybe that's the metafiction, you know? Maybe that's the metafiction at work. I don't know. Anyway, that's Edgar, right? It's the 3rd week of November. Next week, the last week of November, I will read the Charlie route and upload this video. But that was Edgar. That was the Edgar part. Edgar's funny, right? They the Edgar is funny. They the Edgar is funny. He's fun to watch, right? He's fun to watch. Can I, right? It does kind of make me want to see. Wait a second. You know what? Never mind. Am I gonna do that rant? I'm not doing that rant right now. Yeah, I like Edgar. I want to see Edgar in another story, right? I want to see Edgar spiritually reincarnated into another story because he's really funny. Edgar's really funny. Anyway, thank you. Next time I'll do Charlie route. Bye. Hey guys, it's the final week of November, and since November has reached its final week, I get to read the last route in Since November because that's the gimmick. Yeah. I don't know. Edgar's route was cool. I don't know, I feel excited. Like I feel excited like I'm like going to see the end of the story. But I've already seen the end of the story like 3 times. But also there is this like meta progression to like Since November, where it's clear the novel wants you to start with the Nomi route, then the Val route. Then it feels like it wants you to do the Edgar route, and then the Charlie route. I don't know. I don't know, or something approximately in that order. I don't know. Charlie's route just always felt like the final route to me. I'm not sure why. So we're doing Charlie's route. Did I make him British? Why is he British? Breathing out slowly, I watch Edgar go. Was this an active choice, or did I just hesitate for too long this time? Whatever, who needs him? Is that the same British accent I was doing? Quote-unquote a British accent. He claps me on the back hard enough that I stumble. Alright, buddy, looks like it's just you and me. What are we gonna do? He steps over the wolf, not bothering to gather up any of the food that he just fought him for. Cursing to myself, I follow. He looks so anime. Like, I know the, like, entire art style of this is anime, but he's so anime. What is he? He's like a goat or something? I think he's like a goat. I don't know. Outside, he holds his arms wide, basking in the bloody horizon. Just beyond him are 2 trucks that smashed into each other and just got left there. Look at it, bro. Do British people say bro? Look at it, bro. It's fucking beautiful. This really is some final boss shit, in it. Breathe it in. He's framed in crimson detritus. One of the trucks had been hauling lumber, which had since escaped the bed. There was also a toolbox that had been smashed open, its gore now strewn about the pavement. What's come over you lately? What do you fucking think? He runs a hand through his hair, slicking it back. God, what a waste of a life. He kicks out a plank of wood, sending it end over end across the lot. Its silhouette trails behind it, distorted. I was a manager at a goddamn Best Buy, worked in retail for almost a decade straight.
Spent most of it so numb I couldn't even feel my dick. Not exactly hunting the fucking mammoth anymore, are we? What's that even mean? What do you mean? What does it mean to have hunted the mammoth? What are I guess Nomi talked about this. What'd she call them? Like proto-anthronoids? Charlie wishes he was a proto-anthronoid? Huh. Comes full circle. I jump as he suddenly erupts, his voice bouncing off the surrounding buildings. Also, yes, I know the wolf that Charlie killed, right? Greatly resembles the wolf Val was talking about in his route or whatever. Not much else to say about that. Moral of the story, coincidences. I don't know, spoopy. It's how mysterious, right? I don't know what else to say about that. Right now, this might be the most alive I've ever felt. You feel it too, don't you? He's like that cousin, you have that like older cousin who's always like prepping for the zombie apocalypse. Charlie is that cousin, but like the apocalypse actually finally happened, right? And he's stoked. He's stoked about it. You feel it too, don't you? You came out here because watching pointless reruns until you croak wasn't going to cut it. And just now, you stuck around because seeing me drop that guy shot a bolt of electricity right down your spine all the way to your... He grabs my nuts and squeezes. I shove both my hands down. Hard. Backpedaling. Hands off. God, we're straight dudes. So fucking weird. Straight dudes are really weird. Ha 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 ha. Wake up, dude. You're always wasting your life thinking instead of just doing. You're out of time, don't you fucking get it? He grabs my shoulders, pulling us face to face. It's over. Your pretty face is gonna burn. Your bones, stardust. Your name, there won't be anyone left to remember it. He takes it slow, savoring each word. So, what are you gonna do about it? Wanna talk about your sad boy fifis and hug it out? Fifis? He grins wider and wider. Or you want to end things proper? Are we doing... Is this Metal Gear Solid? is this Metal Gear Solid? Is this the final boss? I shove him away. What is your deal, man? I want you to fight. I want you to fight me. What the hell? Cut the bullshit. You don't gotta pretend. You followed me here. You passed the filter. You're kinda messed up, aren't you, Jack? Jack? Metal Gear Solid? It is Metal Gear Solid. Jack, the White Devil? He has white fur? Right, and has white hair? The White Devil? You're kinda messed up, aren't you, Jack? Good. Why go quietly? Why just wait around and wither when you could burn instead? This guy is insane. He's twice my size. Come on, aren't you pissed off? You had a future, now you're not getting another birthday. That career you went to college for, a waste of time, no do-overs. You could have claimed another 100 boy pussies in the time you spent passing out during lectures about mitosis or fucking macroeconomics. You were owed everything and you got nothing. How do you not want to hit something? Go ahead, dude. Pop some big boy bubble wrap or whatever. Not everyone is going to be exactly like you. You should be flipping cars, but instead you're sitting around playing nice with people because you haven't let it sink in that the world already fucking ended. Let's go. Hell, if you get my blood pumping, maybe I'll even let you suck my dick right here. Got more than enough to go around. I can run a charity. Who gives a shit? He makes a show of grabbing his already prominent bulge, sticking out his tongue. I roll my eyes. He acts like that thing is some kind of magic wand. Dude, why are you even like this? It's my job, don't you get it? Folks will try to tell you different. They'll try to pretty it up. But all of history is just blood and cum. I mean, Charlie is successfully making me want to fight him. Charlie sucks. I groan in frustration. I'm really getting sick of his shtick today. It's disrespectful pretending otherwise. If the Maker gave us sight, smell, taste, pain, and pleasure, then we're here to eat and to sing and to fight and to fuck. We are the means through which the universe observes itself. We feel. That's an interesting thing to think about. Like, we don't know if other, like, sentient life exists in the universe. But without the existence of, like, sentient life to be aware of the universe's existence, the universe essentially exists for no reason, right? But that's a very like human-centric perspective, though, right? We like to assign things meaning. So for us to be like, without us, the universe exists for no reason, right? Like, the universe doesn't need a reason to exist. That's a reason we ourselves are assigning to it. But again, from a humanistic perspective, this is an interesting thing to think about. Though that is assuming there's no other sentient life in the universe, right? Without sentient life like us to be aware of the existence of reality, the entirety of reality exists essentially purposely, right? Right, the only reason there is purpose to anything at all is because we are there to give it that purpose. Anyway. The arcana is the means by which all is revealed. We are the means through which the universe observes itself. We feel. There's basically an atom bomb hanging over your head right now. No more denial, no more bargaining. It's time for acceptance. So how are you going out, huh? He reaches out a thick, meaty finger and points it at my chest. Something is coiling within me. If you want something, you just have to take it. He shoves me with it. Yeah. I swing at him, lashing out so quickly it surprises even me. In an instant, I've punched him in the jaw. The impact ripples through his cheek. He turns his head, though not nearly as much as I'd hope. He's surprised, but he recovers quickly with a wicked smile. He's accepted my violence faster than even I have. Did I really just... When the fist comes, it's cataclysmic. It slams into my face, and my feet leave the ground. I don't know which way is down until my shoulder meets the pavement, where I roll, scrape the shit. Swimming in my own head, I clench my eyes shut as I will the world to be solid again. Something feels wrong inside. There's a strange grinding in my mouth full of wet fire, and I spit. Ouchie. A clatter. When I finally open my eyes, I see a bloody, pointed tooth. That's mine. It looks so much larger than it should. All that was buried in my skull until a moment ago. It was a part of me. That's all I get, and he took it from me. You fucker! I move without thinking. I need him to hurt. On my feet, I strike for center mass, but he's huge. His muscles seems to just absorb the blow. When I feel the response coming, I let myself drop to the floor to avoid it, scrambling on all fours until I feel safe enough to rise. This is how our clumsy dance goes for a while. Neither of us really know how to fight. I get the feeling that he's hit people before, but isn't used to things continuing from there. He's uncoordinated, but he already seems winded from moving all that bulk around. I want him to regret this. A month ago, I'd have held back. I'd have known that I'd be safe, that this was petty, and that I'd have to see him again tomorrow. Today, I don't honestly know if he'll stop. I'm afraid of him. And I'm feeling a lot of shit that I've never felt before. I'm not ready when he slams his knee into my gut. When I fall gasping, he doesn't wait for me to rise this time. He kicks me hard, and I'm sent sprawling until I collide with the side of a tire. When I breathe, there's a pain in my chest that I can't identify. Whoopsie. He chuckles to himself as I strain to stand back up. He thinks that he's won. When the next punch comes, I see my chance. I don't dodge away. I charge past it into him. I catch his leg as he passes, and he finally stumbles. He crashes into the side of the abandoned work truck. There's a lot of noise as tools fall, spiraling to the ground. Seeing my opening, I punch him as hard as I can in the back of the knee. When he catches himself on all fours, I bring my hands together and slam down on his lower back. I'm rewarded with his first cry of pain. I step back as he flails wide to fend me off. Looks like something finally shut you up. Talking feels awful. I don't sound like myself with my swollen jaw. Rising to a kneel, he looks up at me with a gleeful malice in his eyes. He spits. Think fast, cocksucker. There's a brief grind of metal on asphalt. Suddenly, some kind of pipe is spinning right at my face. I awkwardly cross my forearms to block it on reflex. The impact hurts to the bone, but I actually end up catching it. He's already moving. I've seen this trick before. I barely hop out of the way as a fist the size of my head grazes past. Wait, okay, so in the beginning it was Jack and Charlie playing a fighting game, right? Okay. Now, I twist, swinging the pipe low like a golf club with all my might. It sings against my paws when it connects. A sickening crunch. Charlie screams. Ah! He crumples against the asphalt, gripping his shin. I see it bend. Fuck, it hurts so much, it's so good. My chest is heaving. I'm shaking. This is what we're for. He rolls onto his back and roars his agonized fury at the sky. Again and again. I stare at the crimson harbinger. Something finally gives. I grip the pipe and I swing it again. Ouchie. A shower of glass rains upon the lot as the car horn blares its complaint. I don't think. I just do. A yob tears from my throat to assert dominance over their offending noise as I turn the broken window into a matching set. I don't care how many windshields I shatter or how many mirrors are stripped from their doors. The chorus of the vehicles around me grows louder every moment, haunting and discordant. I swing. I scream. I swing. I scream.
I swing.
Well, they won't be in since November 2. Interesting. That was fucked, right? That was fucked, but I mean, Charlie thought it was pretty cool, so you know. Like, I don't know if Charlie was fully prepared to die. I mean, I guess he was, right? Like, he knows it's the end of the world. It's like, yeah, Jack beat Charlie to death, but, I mean, Charlie was prepared for it, you know? It's funny, these last two routes are just, like... these last two routes are, like, Jack killing someone. Because he wants them to be. Is there a secret ending? Guys, I wasn't expecting this. I wasn't expecting there to be, since November's secret ending. Guys, what's gonna happen? Guys, I'm so... He's finally asleep. About fucking time. That was bad. I don't blame him. It's a lot to hold all at once. We're fucked. I don't want him to go through that again. Not really up to you, is it? Well, maybe we could keep him distracted. Distracted. Sure, we've got this whole place to ourselves, right? Let's get cozy. New rule. No harshing the vibes. I think I can get on board with that. Why not, I guess. Huh. So that was like the pretense. Okay. That was the pretense. Interesting.
Weird. Weird. I don't think I completely understand what, like, that ending scene was, like, conveying. In retrospect, right? In immediate retrospect, I don't know what they were talking about. It's like, what did Jack do? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, but I don't know. Since November, really cool. Really cool. Really cool visual novel. I guess we'll read the afterword. I guess I'll read the afterword. I hope you enjoyed my first visual novel. It's been a stressful month. I've had a lot of thoughts, but I really want to focus on one. Please keep making queer art. Pour yourself into it. Make it cozy or miserable or important or stupid, but always indulgent. Make it for yourself. Never underestimate how meaningful that can be to others. This is goodbye, for now. We'll get through this together. Oh, it closed. It's Undertale. It's Undertale. It shut itself off. But I guess once you see that, like, after message, there's no real reason to, like, go back. Huh. It's Undertale. I'll have to put an image up on the screen. I don't know. It is, yeah, since November is cool. Huh. A lot to think about in Since November. I feel like most of the more interesting thoughts I had, I already covered in, like, the Edgar route. I feel like at the end of the Edgar route, I covered most of the thoughts that I had. Huh. It's really interesting. Since November, really interesting. Huh. Quite upsetting. Is it upsetting? I don't know. Like, there's a lot of fucked up things that happen. But they kind of don't matter, you know, because the world's over, right? Right? It kind of doesn't matter because the world's over. What was my favorite route? Definitely the Edgar one. Edgar's just funny. It's funny to hear Edgar talk. They're interesting. The Charlie route was cool. I don't know if it's my second favorite though. I don't know if the Charlie route's my second favorite. Certainly exciting. Certainly an exciting route. I like the Nomi route too. But I feel like a lot of it just kind of went over my head. A lot of the Nomi route went over my head. And the Val route was cool. They're all cool. I can't really, like, rank them in any particular order. Except I know the Edgar one's my favorite. The Edgar one is my favorite. I like the Edgar one. Yeah, I don't know. It's cool. I don't really have anything else to say. Since November. Desperately trying to come up with something to say. Because with the other routes, I had the benefit of, like, talking about them after the fact. But this is, like, it, you know? This is it. This is the final recording. So if I don't say something now, I don't really have a chance to say anything elsewhere. Unless I made, like, a video dedicated to it, which I don't particularly feel like doing. Okay, guys, I woke up in a cold sweat. I was ready to post this video, but then something kept bugging me, picking at the back of my mind. Something minorly interesting. I had remembered the big blocky text that suddenly and aggressively appears on screen sometimes. Nomi, I want you to forget me. Val, I want you to fuck me. Edgar, I want you to forgive me. Charlie, I want you to fight me. Approximate. I'd honestly forgotten about these little visual flares until suddenly I was like, wait, what was the deal with those? Upon further contemplation, I realized that they weren't just melodramatic typesetting gimmicks. They were mantras, declarations, modus operandi for the character's roots and the end of reality itself. Which is pretty obvious and explicit. But then I noticed how these incantations, paired along with the code names given to the characters, sloth, lust, control, wrath, actually set up harsh dichotomies within the characters of the novels as well as their endings, which also might have been obvious, but I only noticed that retroactively to be nice to me. Wolves were never supposed to read, you know? Along with the fact that all the most important words start with F, but I don't think that's as important. The most obvious examples are Val, lust, and Charlie, wrath, love and hate, fighting and fucking. The novel suggesting that these characters are essentially polar opposites, at a surface level at least. We all know there aren't necessarily fine lines between love and hate, but nevertheless it proclaims the characters are antithetical to each other. The lustful compassion Jack reciprocates to Val, standing in stark contrast to the wrathful beatdown he engages with old Charles. Edgar and Nomi are a bit more esoteric in their character foils. It's obvious that forgetting is sort of the opposite of forgiving, as far as the saying goes. Wait, no, the saying is forgive and forget, implying that you can do both, and that they're not explicitly opposites. Anyway, never mind, don't linger on that. How do sloth and control actually depict opposite endings to us? Well, the roots are quite similar in the fact that they both heavily feature references to various media, but it's how they interact with that media that stands in contrast. Jack and Nomi are happy to just vibe and sit on the couch, having philosophical musings while watching TV together. Essentially, in Nomi's route, which is emblematic of sloth, Jack and Nomi remain passive and actionless, a relatively peaceful end falling upon them without much fear or objection. Sloth. With Edgar's side, you still get the philosophical musings, but rather than actively engaging with the texts occupying the library, he's tossing them to the ground, dismantling the entire establishment with Jack's help, maniacally so. Edgar's constantly aching and agonizing over when the end might come. And contrary to the passiveness and actionlessness in the face of the end in Nomi's route, Edgar commands Jack to do the one thing they think would still be meaningful in the world, deciding when that end would be. Control. Forgive and forget literally describe the events of the roots, just in a more roundabout way than the fighting and fucking do. Nomi wishes for Jack to forget her. Sloth. Easing the approaching end by offering a departure from the stress and worry of it all. By embracing effortlessness and inaction, you can absolve yourself from even having to give the effort to care about the world ending around you, or the people dearest to you that you'll lose in the process. Nomi wishes for Jack to forget her, because if he does, he won't even have to be bothered to care about her. He won't have to face the pain of eventually losing her in the ending world. Edgar asks Jack to forgive them, which there are a lot of ways that could be interpreted in this context, but I don't know, you get the gist. FFF, foo, fighters, I don't know, dude, that's the best I got. When I post this video, please, thank you. Back to the old rambling. Thank you. I don't know, I'm okay, because we had another game jam this November, right? We had another game jam this November, so I am curious to see what, like, that one's gonna be like. I'm excited for that. Theoretically, by the time this video's out, like, all the new game jam novels from this game jam are going to be a thing, including the new one by Keith Ballard. Apparently his writer name is Boring Keith, right? Apparently that's his alias when it comes to writing. So overall, pretty cool. Overall, pretty poggers. Do I regret making Charlie British? No. Do I regret making Charlie British? No. Yeah, no, since November is pretty cool. Rate it 5 stars on itch. Overall, since November is pretty cool. Rate it 5 stars on itch. And also play whatever new game jam visual novels are coming out this month, because I know there's a number of them, probably. There's probably a number of them. And this, like, this one, the game jam since November came from, it was about, like, bears or whatever. It was November. But now this next one is Novembuck. Right, it was November, and now it's Novembuck. So this one's about, like, deers and stuff. So I don't know, play those. It's November. Well, since November is over, you need to play all the new Novembuck novels that came out. Because, you know, it's game jam, so they're out by the time November's over. And this is being posted at the end of November. So since November is done,
November's done. So play the new novels or whatever. Play the things the people made. Thank you guys. Bye.